You can get really up close to things and get a nice wide angle. Yeah, that looks really good there. I am like a kid in a candy store because Sandmarc sent me over some very cool cases for my iPhone 13 Pro Max and some very cool lenses. Let's get right into this. So right here is the lens case. You need this if you want to be able to permanently just connect, not permanently, temporarily connect these to your phone. It's a very nice, sturdy, soft textured. I like that soft texture there. Textured, it says Sandmarc there on the back, and then there's this aluminum part here which has threads in it. You guys can see that there. That's pretty cool that it has the threads built right into the camera areas. So first and foremost, let's get this thing put onto my phone. Should slip right in there, pop in there, snaps right in. Doesn't get much easier than that. And so there is my phone, which is the iPhone 13 Pro Max, nicely into the case. Has a nice feel to it. I like that soft plastic material there. It's really smooth. Minimalist, which I love. I love minimalist cases. So this is a case I could probably even see myself just keeping on there because it does feel very nice in the hand. The edges along the side here might feel a little, I wouldn't say they're sharp, they're thin, so that might take a little to get used to. I'm used to a little bit more of a rubber edge on there, but I love the minimalist feel of it. So let's take a look at what we've got here. So this is the telephoto lens. Oh, a full-blown case. A case for a case. Inside the little, nice little pouch there, Sandmarc little pouch. We got a carabiner on this one side here, so if you want to just put this right here on the clip, and you can just clip it to that belt loop or purse or whatever you want to clip it to, just to carry that around. That's nice that they include a carabiner. And then inside here is another pouch. So I was not kidding, there's a case inside of a case. It's a pouch, technically a pouch. We'll call it a pouch. And inside of here should be the good stuff. So we've got a clip, which I would assume you could just clip onto any phone. And then the lens itself and a little microfiber cleaning cloth here as well is included. Here is the telephoto lens. This has, whenever you pull a lens out, especially like this, if the materials feel cold to you, I don't know why, I just feel like that means it's quality because it's cold. It means it's metal, it's not plastic. And right there is the telephoto lens. There's also a rear cap here. Just pop that rear cap off. And there you go, there is the telephoto lens. And then if we flip this case over, there are two different slots that I can screw this into. If we do this first one right here, righty tighty lefty loosey, so I would assume that way, yep. And there you go. I love how it just screws in. The threads are super smooth, but it's super secure, and it's very, very solid and secure. So if we open up the camera there, if you see right here, I've clearly put it into the wrong hole. The wrong hole! Okay, here we go. Let's undo it from there. Super easy to unscrew. Move it over to this lens. Screw it down there. Oh, you know what? I wonder if it's going into automatic macro mode. That might be the case. So we might have to go in and disable the macro mode in the camera. So let's take a look at that really quickly here and see if that's what we need to do. So if we come into camera, where is our camera? There it is right there. Macro control, show camera control for automatic switching to the ultra wide lens. Lens control, was not even on, so that shouldn't be the case. Oh, there we go. Nope, and it switched. So it's switching somehow, so I'm gonna have to figure that out, because it just keeps going to what I believe is the macro mode on the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Yeah, it is. See, because when you get close like this right here, it switches. You saw it right there. And then you pull it out and it switches again. So my guess is that when it gets up close like this, it's switching and going over to the main lens right here, which there are no threads in this main one. So let me do a little bit of research on that one. But for now, let's take the case off, and you don't actually have to have the case to use these lenses, which is pretty cool. So let's take the case off for a second and open up this little clip right here. So this clip has threads built into it as well, and we can take this lens and thread it right in there. Get it nice and tight. And now we've got a clip that we can clip right onto any phone. Doesn't matter what case is on there, you can just clip it on and clip it over, and you can kind of look through the viewfinder here to see the positioning of it. I definitely think that it's switching over. It's still switching over to that macro mode. See how it's there, and then I move this over. Oh, I got it that time. It didn't switch over because it can see all the way through, I guess. You can also look right down into the lens. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but you can look right down into the lens and see the iPhone lens down inside there. But we did manage. Oh, no, it just switched again. Depends on what you focus on, it switches and goes back. So I'm gonna have to play with this a little bit and come back to you guys on this one. So let's just move on to the wide angle lens and see how that does. Same pouch inside of there. You got the same clip, the same carabiner, and inside of here, don't break it, Michael. We've got the lens, and we're gonna put that right here. It's a 16mm wide angle lens into the camera, and this one worked. So this one we got no issues with. Worked just fine. I'm pretty sure that I gotta disable the macro auto switching on the telephoto one because that's the only way it's going to remain in that state. But what's cool about this is that I'm in my regular camera lens, but now I have a wide angle, which you can see is showing an entire large area here. So we're capturing from here all the way over to here in this space, and it's very sharp. The image itself is very sharp. Have to get it out into real world settings, but it looks really good. And of course, if we switch lenses, it's gonna go over here. I wonder what would happen if we put it on the actual wide angle lens, that 0.5 lens on this iPhone 13 Pro Max. Would it be just super ultra wide or would it not work at all? So let's screw it onto that one there. And my guess is that it's switching to that macro mode again because it's not actually, yeah, you see it switch just for a brief second there. Because see, whenever it goes to macro mode auto switching, it's switching to this lens right here and not utilizing either of these two lenses. So give me 1 second, I'm gonna go in there and see if I can turn that off. Okay, so now I just switched it from automatically switching to actually giving me control over whether or not I want it to go into that mode. So if we were to get it, you guys can probably see that as I come in here to this, you can see how the image shifted there? That's auto switching, and you can see that went to macro, but if I take off macro, it goes back. So what I wanna do is keep macro off and then switch on the lens to the wide angle lens. And this way the camera won't automatically switch back and forth. And I'm gonna go to my 0.5 lens, and it is still doing it. I guess it doesn't work on that wide angle. You've got to do it on the main lens. If you guys have figured out how to do this with putting it on, and that works great. I mean, that looks beautiful. You can get really up close to things and get a nice wide angle. Yeah, that looks really good there. It's really sharp. Yeah, that's a nice wide angle on there. But you definitely have to disable that macro mode because even just switching between these two, yeah, you gotta be able to manually disable that. Let's put that telephoto back on and see how that functions now. So here's that telephoto lens. We'll stick that on the main lens. Disable the macro, and there we go. We are in business. Now there's a minimum focal distance, so you can't get super close with the telephoto. It's really meant for zooming in on things. So it's meant for going further away. But that definitely punches in there a little bit. Oh, we can go to the 3x and get in and still use that lens there. Of course, we go to wide angle, we're using a totally different lens altogether. So there are some different things that you gotta take into consideration with the various settings, the computational photography that's inside of these iPhones that will intelligently switch back and forth between the various lenses depending on your setting or situation. So you might have to play around with it a little bit, but I'm impressed with the quality of glass, the sharpness of the images in my test photos, and just the overall quality of Sandmarc. They make great products. I do really like this case. The longer I have it on there, the more it's definitely growing on me. I'm really liking how it feels. So chances are I'm just gonna keep this on my phone. The one complaint I have that I think I really wish they would have done is that they would have made it MagSafe compatible, which I do know that this case is not MagSafe compatible. So if you depend on that, then you're not gonna be able to use the MagSafe. Well, let's test it out. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab it and see. Well, let's test this out. So this here is the Sandmarc. I use this thing all the time. This is the Sandmarc MagSafe wireless charger for vehicles. I also happen to have one at my desk so that when I get there, I can just come out my desk. And if I put this on here, yeah, that's what I was afraid of. It doesn't, in fact, you're bumping up into this lens area here, so you can't even get it high enough to get a hold onto that phone. See, for instance, with this case here, you can see the MagSafe is in there, and it just solidly magnetizes to it. So that would be my only complaint. Maybe they're coming out with a MagSafe version of this case, which would be really nice. And if that was the case, I would probably make this my daily driver, if you will, for my iPhone, because MagSafe's kind of essential today with all the ways that I magnetize my phone in my car, at my desk, at home, charging at night. So Sandmarc does make a very, very good wireless Qi charging that are MagSafe compatible. Definitely check those out as well. But these lenses are good, and I'm excited to try them out in the real world and put them to the test. Overall, I'm impressed with the quality. Take a look at them on their website. I'll put the links down below. Till the next video, check out this video here because YouTube thinks you will like this, and you probably do, so go watch it.